Hi everyone, I'm in Bakersfield, California. I'm here with my friend Krista. We're going to check out the Woolworths Luncheonette counter today. We're watching Retro Treasures, Antiques, and Other Cool Things with Chris Corsello and Krista Clark. The very first Woolworths opened in Utica, New York in 1878. It sold items for 5 cents a piece. It failed within 3 months. A year later in 1879, the founder decided to try again in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, selling both 5-cent and 10-cent items, creating what would be later known as the Five and Dime store. This second store was tremendously successful, and by the beginning of the 20th century, Woolworths had opened stores all over the United States.
This is actually the only Woolworths diner left operating in all of America.
In what?
All of America.
Woolworths set the standard for the modern retail model. Before Woolworths, customers did not walk up and down aisles and browse merchandise, but rather customers presented their list at a sales counter and the items were brought to them at the counter. Woolworths literally created the retail experience we have today. Woolworths opened their first lunch counter at a store in New Albany, Indiana in 1923.
I've been working here for about a year and a half now. I'm 16, my name's Victoria. It's pretty fun, I like it.
So, you never actually went to a Woolworths because they all closed before you were born.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you like food here? Better say yes.
The food is so good.
After closing the last store in July of 1997, Woolworth changed its name to Venator. In October of 2001, they changed the name again to match their top-performing popular mall store. What is the name of that store? By the time Woolworths celebrated their 100th anniversary in 1979, it was the largest department store chain in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. During this visit to the last operating Woolworths lunch counter in the US, we ordered cheeseburgers and a milkshake. There it is, thank you.
I'm gonna take this out.
I can't say I really remember what they tasted like at Woolworths because I'm not sure I ever really had a cheeseburger at Woolworths back in the day. Have you?
I don't remember.
It's not the kind of thing my parents would really probably let me eat.
But how's that shake?
The shake is spectacular.
Very good.
I don't think so. I wonder if they...
Oh, really? So you'll leave roundabout, spending money.
That's a cheeseburger. You're right. It tastes exactly what you expect it to taste like. It's a good all-American cheeseburger.
How are the fries?
I haven't tasted them yet. All right, let's see. The fries are good though. They put on
Seasoned salt.
a little seasoned salt on. And they're nicely done. It's a really great value, I think.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people like it because it takes them back to the old days, you know?
And it really got busy in here.
Sorry?
It really got very busy in here.
Typically that's how it is on the weekend.
That cheeseburger really hit the spot. I don't eat beef very often. Occasionally a steak. I really don't eat. I don't eat a whole lot of meat, and boy, but that hit the spot.
It's a true dime store burger.
It really is.
When I came here as a kid, I would come here with my grandma. I'm not from Bakersfield, and we would visit the Woolworths in San Pedro, California. Even coming here to the one in Bakersfield reminds me, I didn't really come here with my parents. It was always my grandma's thing, and I think we would get a grilled cheese and some remember correctly.
Yeah, that does sound right. You know, and my parents weren't the kind of people that would probably eat at a Woolworths counter either. And I don't really remember going to the one in Napa when I was a kid. Maybe like my grandparents came in town. I could see my grandpa maybe taking me over there. I feel like it is a generation even before our parents. And I did read on the wall outside that this particular location opened in 1950. Classic.
And what I remember from being a kid and going to Woolworths with my grandmother is afterwards we would get a moist towelette, the folded up moist towelette. Now you have some nice clean hands with which to go shopping.
So many memories.
So walk down memory lane.
I love that they give you the canister so that you get more than just one. You can see the chunk of strawberry in there. And look at that. 2 milkshakes for the price of 1. Look at all that chunks of strawberry in there. That is excellent value. And apparently ever since the 60s they took down the sign that said whites only. I mention that of course because it was a famous moment in the civil rights movement. On February 1st, 1960, 4 students in Greensboro, North Carolina decided to stage a protest at the Woolworths lunch counter. They were refused service because of the color of their skin. The protest rapidly grew and spread to cities all over the United States. The protests around the country lasted for months. It wasn't until July 25, 1960, that the Greensboro, North Carolina Woolworths was finally desegregated. This was considered to be one of the pivotal moments that helped kick off the civil rights movement of the 1960s. I can't help think of that story when I think of the Woolworths lunch counter, so that's why I mention it. The company once known as Woolworths is now Foot Locker. So I guess really the Woolworths Luncheonette counter is really somewhere between a retro treasure and an antique. Anyway, if you're ever in Bakersfield, I definitely recommend stopping by this place. It's a great antique mall. It's fun to, 3 stories of antiques, so it's fun to wander around there if you're into that kind of thing. And this lunch counter is a lot of fun. It's very reasonably priced, and it's good. I enjoyed it.
Thumbs up.
Thanks for the tip, Krista. That was a good one, because I would have never known about this. We said, come to Bakersfield and check out the lunch counter, so that's how it happened.
The Luncheonette.
The Luncheonette.
Woolworths Luncheonette.
Yep.
Finger.
And thanks for watching. And thanks to Robin for helping film and for help finishing the milkshake.
Thank you. Do you want to be in the video? She wants to be in the video. You can ask your questions.
Is it you too?
Actually, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And check out some of my other videos.